Welcome back, guys. So I'm here to give you guys another tutorial, and this is actually an eye-watering one. So I actually had some help to figure out how to install WordPress on a Windows 10 natively and run a reverse proxy through Caddy. So I'm going to go over the full install on how to get WordPress working on your Windows 10 or 11 system and how to install Caddy. Well, I'm going to go through the code to install Caddy. If you want to figure out how to get Caddy fully working with Cloudflare, please check out my other video. So first off, we need to go into our browser and we need to load up and find WordPress. So we're going to click download the latest WordPress. We're going to click on download, which is going to show right here. Put into our downloads folder. And all these links will be in the description for you guys. Second, we need to go into this link, which is Windows PHP. I'm going to download 7.4. The reason we're not downloading the latest one, 8.1, is because 7.4 works the best with WordPress from my knowledge. So we're going to click download the zip right here. And again, we're going to click download to our downloads folder. You can really download it anywhere. It's really up to you. Next, we're going to need to install MySQL. And we're going to do this by installing this MariaDB because it's an easier MSI installer and it's just much easier to use. So make sure you get the RC one because that's the real channel. The alphas don't come in the MSIs. You can honestly choose what package. I always choose the latest one, which is under RC, and I'm going to click download here. It's going to download the MSI. Make sure that's correct. It's going to default to the alpha though. Just make sure you change that. Next, we're going to get Caddy if you haven't already set up Caddy. And we're going to enable Cloudflare. And if you're using DuckDNS, use DuckDNS as well. I always enable both just in case you want to switch between the two. And click download. So you just click on these like this and like this. Oop, not like that. Like this. And then you click download. Make sure you select these or else your Caddy will not work. Alright, once that's done, we can go into our downloads. And we're first going to start off with our WordPress. So we're going to open up our WordPress in a .rar. One second. Okay. Once we open it up, we're going to go into WordPress and we're going to extract all this to a folder. So for example, I'm going to do mine as Devil's Designs. So I'm just going to make a folder on my C drive. You can make it really anywhere you want. I'm going to make mine my C drive. I'm going to make it under Tools, New Folder, and I'm going to make it WordPress. And I'm going to make a new folder inside that called Devil's Designs. So I know what the website is. You can really name it whatever you want. You can name it WordPress or anything you really want. It's up to you. Once those are extracted, we can load up our PHP this time. And all we have to do is go into here, and we're going to extract all these. You can click Control-A to select, or just hold on this little three dots. Click Extract, and we're going to extract it to, again, our C drive. And I'm going to do mine again in Tools, so I keep it nice and tidy. I'm going to name it PHP. And we're going to click OK and extract that to there. Okay. Next, we need to go to environment variables. And environment variables is how we add paths to our Windows install. So let's say I want to add like something so I can run it through CMD without having to set up, like go to the directory I want to run in there. That's the way you do it. So we're going to go into edit. Okay, so sometimes that happens. So sometimes you need to just close it out and reopen it. And you can click on this and it'll pull up environment variables, which is under system properties. You can just type in system properties really to be easier. So if I want to do that, I just type in system properties. Oop, not that. System. And I'll pull up this once you go here. I'll pull up this and then you just go into let's see, where is it? Advanced system properties. Okay. So you can also find it through advanced system properties, I guess. So if you type in advanced system properties, it'll show it here as well. But we're going to click on environment variables. We're going to go to path, double click it, and click new, and we're going to add our PHP directory to that path. So we're going to do C, tools, PHP, and then also we're going to add our well, that's what we're going to add for right now. We can also add our Caddy if you haven't already. If just for tip, if you haven't added Caddy, you can do C, tools, and where your Caddy directory is. I haven't done that, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to click OK. Click OK. Now, if you have a terminal open, close it, and then close all terminals, and then reopen terminal, because if you don't, it won't find the correct properties. It'll basically won't update the path, so just so you know. Okay, so next we're going to open up MariaDB. Okay, next. Let me go back. Hold on. So once you open up MariaDB, it'll look like this. Click on Next. Click on accept, click next, click, and this is where it's going to install, so make sure you note where that is. Click next. We're going to add a root password, so I'm going to add mine. You can add anything you want to this. I'm going to enable UTF-8. You want to make sure this is enabled and your password is enabled and make sure it's in the same directory as your MariaDB. Next, it's going to install it as a service and enable 3306. So we can click next as the port, next, and install. It's going to give you a UAC prompt. Just click yes. Now it's running MariaDB. I'll also give you a guide on what to select in the description. All of these links and guides and commands will be in the description for you, so you know where to find it. Oh, one thing to note, when you're doing environment variables, make sure you're selecting, what's up, make sure you're selecting this bottom system variables. Do not select user variable because that won't apply to your system. So make sure you're selecting this path in this user variable right here. Okay. So once that's MariaDB is installed, we're gonna set up our MySQL. By doing this, we're going to also edit some of the MySQL data. So we need to edit our PHP data. So let's go into PHP. Let me find it. Hold on. Make a new tab. We go into this PC, C, Tools, PHP. And we want to go into PHP-ini development and copy that and paste it. So we're going to make a duplicate. And we name this just PHP.ini. We need to change some properties in here. So we're going to do that real quick. You can open up in any text editor you want. I prefer Sublime because it has a pretty good syntax error checker, just to make sure we don't have any syntax. Once that's done, we're going to open this up in here. And we're going to go down, we're going to change two things. So let me find those two things. Hold on. Okay, so once we've done that, now all we have to do is go into our PHP. We need to change a couple things. So first, you can search in the document, either Control F or if you want to search. I think that's normally what you do in. That's what I do in Sublime. I'm not sure if it's the same in any text editor, but you can check it. We're gonna do memory underscore limit. This one right here. We're gonna change to 512, and then M. You can change to any size, but I do mine to 512 because I don't really need more than that. If you want to do gigabytes, you can just do 1 and then the G, capital G. But I'm just doing megabytes, so I'm going to do 512, capital M. Next, we need to find the extension line, which is, we're going to find that right now, so Control X, extension. And we want to find this extension directory, ext, right here. We're going to delete that little colon because what that's going to do is that's going to allow it to be active so we can use our extensions. Okay. And then once we've done that, we can go and find our extensions. So we're going to go to the extensions tab, which is, we can search this by searching the first term that I put in the description, extension. And then it's equals BZ2. So here's our extension. This is the first one we need to edit. So we're going to delete that comment so it's uncommented. And we can do this for all the ones that are in the description. I'm just going to go through them really quick. Again, they're BZ2, curl, FFI, fileinfo, GD2, gettext, GIMP or GMP, intl, mbstring, exif, mysqli, odbc, openssl, PDO mysql, PDO odbc, not that one, PDO odbc, and PDO mysqlite. I think that's all. Yep, that's all of them. Okay, once you've done that, we can click Control S. And one thing you might want to do is change the memory limit. So if we go to memory, on max upload size, and I would change this. You can change to 1024 megs. That's 1 gig. And then that should be all we need really. Once we've done that, we can click Control S or click File Save, close that out. Okay, now we're going to go and configure our MariaDB settings. So once you install MariaDB, you should be able to go in here and type in Maria, and it should show up in MariaDB client. So we can click on that. It's going to pull up a terminal window. We're going to put in our password that we set up when we set up the MSI installer. Okay, we're in. Now we need to run a few commands. So I'm going to pull these commands up. Okay. So this command I'm going to show you. It's really easy. I'm show you the WordPad or Notepad, so you can see smaller, that big. All right. So in the WordPad, all you do is type this, and we're going to type in our database name. So let's say I want to make mine Devil's Designs. You can change it to this again. Will be in the description, so you can see. We'll name mine Devil's Designs because that's the website I'm using. And I'm going to use the database. So this is the database we typed above. Again, Devil's Designs. And then we're going to make our user. So I'm going to make mine Devil's Designs again. And we're going to make our password, whatever password you want. You can change it to anything. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, question mark. And then you want to grant the user. So it's, again, Devil's Designs. And then flash privileges. So this is going to create our database. This is going to open the database. This is going to add our user to the database and password. And this is going to grant access on the database to that user. And then we're just going to clear those privileges from before, so it's not running that. So I'm going to paste this. Okay. Now, if we go into our WordPress, this is the fun part. Okay. We're going to go and we're going to set up a WordPress now. So let's go into our Caddy directory. So mine's in Tools, Caddy, and I have my Caddy file. We'll open it up. So here's my Caddy file. You basically just want to put your root. So mine is Tools. It's WordPress. Yeah, WordPress, and then your directory. So mine's Devil's Designs, and then you're gonna do 127.0.0.1:9000. That's our fast CGI, and then file server. Now we need to set up fast CGI, and that's in our I think it's in our PHP. Hold on. Okay, so we have PHP-CGI. We need to run this basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a property. So we've already had our PHP to our directory and our path. So now what we have to do is go into we need to install NSSM, which I think I already have on here. I have to double check. Hold on. To see tools. Yep, I have NSSM here. So I'm just going to type in an administrative PowerShell. I'm going to run as administrator, accept the UAC prompt. And we're going to do NSSM install PHP. Okay, it's going to pull up a box like this. We're going to select our path for PHP-CGI. So we're going to do that. So we're going to Tools, PHP, with a CGI.exe. Then we're going to run a command, which is -b 127.0.0.1:9000. I think that's all. It's a lowercase b. I think that's all we need to do. Let me just double check on that. Okay, yeah. So it's -b 127.0.0.1:9000. What this is going to do is this is going to allow us to run our PHP CGI so it can accept our WordPress as a local host. Okay, so we click install. That should do NSSM start PHP. And you'll see it'll start successfully. Start successfully. Now we can go into our browser. Just open a new browser. All right, let me get my Caddy. So next I'm going to do NSSM. Set up my Caddy. Hold on. Okay, so once we have that fully set up, we need to go into Setup Cloudflare and need to add a CNAME. I'm not going to show you that because I showed in my other video. If you want to know how to set up Caddy with a reverse proxy, just look at that video. Once you add the CNAME, it needs to be a CNAME. So you can't have Caddy set up with like a main domain. For some odd reason, it doesn't allow you to. So if I set up like my Caddy file, like so, hold on, open this up. I have my file right here, and here's my Caddy setup. You can't have like Devil's Designs and it has to have a scene like home or something else, or else it won't work. I figured that out the hard way when I was trying to troubleshoot my own issues. So make sure you have a subdomain or a CNAME, such as home or WordPress or WP. It doesn't really matter. Once that's set up, we need to manually run it if you've never run Caddy before. So we're going to do /caddy. Oh, you want to go to Caddy directory, so do cd c/tools/caddy. And so you can go in the Caddy directory. And we're going to do /caddy run --config and then capital C for Caddy file. Okay. Now we run that, and it's going to run our certificate, and see it's already validated. So it has pulled our home.devilsdesigns. Now if we load this up, click on home.devilsdesigns, it should load up our web page, hopefully. Go to incognito browser, so you can see if it loads immediately. Oh, and there we go. So in the so if it doesn't work, it just keeps endlessly loading. Go to an incognito browser. So if it doesn't load immediately, sometimes it just requires you to go to an incognito browser because it's holding on a cache. So just right click and go to private browser. So once we're here, we have English. We can click on English because we're in the United States. And we're going to add our database username. So first, we're going to add our database, which mine is Devils Designs. My username is Devils Designs. My password, I'm going to put in my password, which I think was password 1234 exclamation point. You can leave all this the same. You can change this to whatever you want. I just put it as WordPress because it's my only install. Oop, I might have gotten that password wrong. We'll try that again. Uh-oh. So this is a good learning moment. So if you forget your password, one thing you can do is you can go into your terminal or your MySQL again, and you can drop the table. So if I go to MySQL and I load up this, which is my SQL database, and I click and type in my password, now I can drop the table and re-add it. So all I have to do that is do drop user and my user that I made. Put this code in the description as well. So we just drop that user. Now we re-add it by sending this in. The same thing before, except for the second line. So it's going to be, hold on. So now what to do is just type in that same, I'll have this code in the description. You type in use my database, which we've already made. Create user for my database with the password that I've already made, or that I'm going to remake, and then grant the access on that one, and then flush privileges. Now you can click exit, and exit again, exit out of this. Now if we go back in here, we can do Devil's Design, and I'm pretty sure it's that one. So once we did that, I had pass, not password. There we go. So once it accepts that, we can click run the installation and set up our site name. So we'll name it Devil's Designs, and we'll name our username, which is going to be, we'll just name it Administrator. Okay. And our password, we'll just make it, hide this. We'll make it something random. Okay. And our email, we'll just do Devil's Designs. I'm going to put out this real quick. Okay. And then install WordPress. While that's installing, you have now successfully installed WordPress on your Windows 10 machine natively. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to see in the future, let me know. I'd love to make a video for it. I'm glad we finally got this set up. Now we just log in our admin panel. Might take a while. I'm on my slower machine right now, so it might take a couple of minutes to load up. There we go. We type in our administrator username and our password, and remember, and log in. Let's try saying that. Password. And bam, you're in your, now you have fully installed WordPress. Now if you want to install plugins, sometimes it won't allow you to. So what you need to do is you just go, if you're going to install themes or plugins, you can just go into your tools, WordPress, my domain, and just manually import WordPress content. There's plugins and themes. Just populate those folders, add the theme in here, or add the plugin folder in here, and you're all set. If you guys have any questions, concerns, you guys like my video, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.